Okay, greetings my Stampin' Up friends. This is Linda Tolson Yarbrough, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Carrollton, Texas. And I am going to share with you today this project here that I made for some friends of mine who I discovered over the past week lost some family members. Here I'm trying to check to make sure that I'm live, and I am. Okay, lost some family members over the past week. I was inspired by this card by one that I found on Pinterest, and I meant to go back and look for the name, but I forgot to do so. The card was inspired by used basic gray as the card base and basic gray as the ink. I changed it up and used Whisper White, used a layer of basic black, and then stamped my card in Memento, the Tuxedo Black. And I'm going to demonstrate this card for you here today. So I'm going to set this aside. Keep it clean. And I'm going to use my new trimmer. I was going to pre-cut everything, but I thought this is a stamp set that we are using today. It is Create Sunflowers, and it's a part of the A Flower for Every Season bundle in the new 2019-2020 annual catalog. It comes with a coordinating die set, and I'm going to be using the larger sunflower die to cut out the large sunflower here that I'm going to stamp. And it is a clean red stamp set. Set this aside and set the rest of these. You'll have leaves, sunflower center, and then you can also cut out an overlay for that flower if you want to do that as well. As I've previously indicated, I use the thick Whisper White for my card base because it is a stronger base. You have the option if you want a card that opens sideways or long ways. I always open mine sideways. So I'm going to cut mine at 5.5 on the 11-inch end. And I have, you'll see I have the new cutter, the rail locks into place. Just like that, it cuts. My scoring blade is here at the top. My cutting blade is now at the bottom. I'm gonna unlock it and turn it. And I'm gonna score it at 4 1/4. I don't know if you can see the score line there now. Fold it over. And I'm going to reinforce that score with my bone folder. Okay. I'm going to do some more out. I'm going to stamp the top white piece. I'm going to stamp the images on a piece of white, regular piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to cut that at 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And then I need a scrap piece to cut out with the and I think I'm just going to keep this piece as for my cutout piece. Looks like I may have frozen here. I hope I haven't lost my connection. It looks like maybe I have. Hold on just a second. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me. I'm going to continue on as though it's still alive. Hold on. Okay, looks like it's still going. Anyway, sorry for the snafu. And now here's my 4 1/4. And I'm going to match the stamped image with a piece of basic black that I'm going to cut just 1/8 of an inch larger than the 4 inch by 5 1/4 inch. Good at measurement. So on my cutter, it is going to be, here's 5 1/4. It's just 2/16 lines past. How do I want to do that? Is this the right way? Hold on. My little math brain is hurting. Okay. So this is what I want to do. Here's the 5 1/4. So I want to go. And then 4 inches is here. And I just want to go 2 little slots past that. 2 little notches past that. See the 4 inch? 1, 2. So that when I do mat them, I have just a peak of the black around the edges. See. So now I'm done with the cutting, and hopefully I'm still live. Set my excess cardstock away, put my cutter away, and I'm going to start stamping. And since I'm stamping off the edge, I'm going to take a piece of just scrap and put it along the edge of my white piece of Whisper White. I'm using my Memento Basic Black, and since this is red rubber, I'm not going to worry about priming my stamp with the Versamark like I do with my photopolymers. And I'm just going to stamp this up really well. And since this is a large pad to the stamp instead of the stamp to the pad, so that I can make sure I'm getting a good coverage area. Now on this stamp, you'll see that some of the petals are stamped and then at the bottom they curl. And on this one, you'll notice that on the bottom of the card, I stamped off at the bottom and stamped off at the top. So I'm just going to stamp off a little bit here. Kind of judging it by my eyeballs. And I just want to give it a good press. Say a little mantra in your head. You want to use the Bonnie is wonderful. That Bonnie Thurber taught us it. You can use that little mantra. Give it a good hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift it straight up. There you go. I'm going to turn my paper. I'm going to re-ink my stamp. And now I'm going to try to, want to get a different look, I'm going to try to use the curly end of the flower this time. And I'm still going to stamp off. And I am kind of moving my block a little bit. I'm not lifting it, I'm kind of just alternating the pressure back and forth, side to side, because it's a large stamp. And there you go. So now I've got my extra piece of Whisper White over here. Now I want to stamp the full flower that we're going to color with some blends and then cut out with what I have now is the Big Shot. but just announced starting in early August, the emboss machine will be available as a pre-order item to demonstrators. So if you're really just must have the new Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, you can always join as a member of my team and get in August, or you can wait another month. In early September it will become available to customers. Yay! They haven't announced when the smaller machine will be available, but they expect it'll be not too long. It's a shipping issue with the COVID-19. So hopefully that will get resolved. A lot of our products, as you'll notice if you go in and try to place some orders, a lot of them sold above expectations, and so they're going into back order status. And a lot of that, it has to do with shipping issues as well, getting them out of certain areas and getting them manufactured and shipping. Certain products like ours aren't getting preferred shipping. Medical devices and stuff are getting preferred shipping. So I only used 3 markers to color this, believe it or not. So for the center, I used my dark crumb cake because I haven't ordered a new set to get the light ones yet. If I had both, I would have used the light and the dark to give more of a shading. But since all I have is the dark, that's what I went with. Just going to color the inside, very simple. Let's set that aside. And because there's so much detail on this stamp, I just took my dark Daffodil Delight, I believe is what this one is, yes, and just made some swishes inside the sunflower. Didn't worry too much about hitting all those small little lines. Just hit some swishes because it's going to blend in. So this is going to be a really fast color for you guys. If you're thinking, oh my gosh, I have to color that thing. Really fast color. Or actually, if you didn't want to color it at all, you could have stamped it in black on a Daffodil Delight cardstock. There you go. And I'm just going to come along and with my light Daffodil Delight and quickly blend in that dark. And yes, I'm going outside the lines. I don't care. It's coloring. You don't have to stay inside the lines. I'm going to cut it out with the die anyway. And another reason you might want to join my team as a demonstrator, I mentioned it in passing, I think in my unboxing or in my first prior live product demonstration during the month of June, which I think is 14 days left in the month of June. If you sign up to become a demonstrator, as part of your starter kit, you get to pick a free product bundle. That means a stamp set and a coordinating punch or a coordinating set of dies, whichever it is, free as part. So that not only do you get the $125 worth of free product for the $99 starter kit, the $30 or $40 worth of business supplies, part of your $99 starter kit, but now you get either it could be anywhere from $35 to $45 bundle free as part of your starter kit. Okay, now I'm going to cut out flower using the frame. And it took me a while to figure out how to line this up. I found it's easier if you put the little curly labels at the bottom. And I have to go around a couple of times until I figure it out. Be easy. It'd be nice if that, like on some of these stamp sets, they had a handle so you knew where to, you could mark it on your stamp and then knew where to line up your die. But this one, I got it. Okay. I'm never very good at lining these up. And you can probably see my head. Oh yeah, you can't. But I did get my hair colored. Thankfully, my hairdresser of, gosh, probably 30 years now, has elected to do hair at people's homes now. So she was able to come to my home last Saturday, since I'm high risk and can't go out in public much. She came to my home, so that was great. Walmart nails my husband picked up for me yesterday. He was thinking I was getting a little too wild with my Color Street nails. So he bought him while he was at Walmart yesterday. All right, there it is. I've cut it out. Oh, I got it like almost perfect. White all the way around. On camera too. It's better than the ones I cut out not under pressure. Okay, I'm getting a lot of wear out of that washi tape there. It's the same piece I've used for a while. Oh, I can get another cut out of that. For the tag I made, I used a die from the Painted Labels dies. It goes with one of the Poppy stamp sets from the mini catalog that carried over into the annual catalog. I don't remember which stamp set it coordinated with, but it's not sold as a bundle. It may or may not still be sold as a bundle. Usually they don't carry the bundles over, but on a few of them they did carry them over as a bundle. I cut my tags, usually I cut my tags out first and then stamp them. It's easier for me, and they don't, that way they don't move on the Big Shot when I cut them out. So I like this one because it makes, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it makes a little like indented frame around the, or a debossed frame around the outside of it. So now put the Big Shot away. Okay, so I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, this. The sentiment that I stamped on the front comes from the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set that I think came from last year's annual catalog. It might have been the mini catalog, I don't remember. But it was a carryover product, thankfully, because I found out when I sat down to make these sympathy cards that I didn't have any current sympathy stamp sets. So I made a quick order last night for 2-day delivery in case I needed any more. So of course I used retired stamps on the inside of the card. So I know my stamp is on here straight. So as long as I stamp it straight, it should come out on the, see, I have it on there straight, so it should, as long as I get my block straight, it should come out straight. Here's praying it comes out straight. Yay! Video. Okay, and you can't see, but I have my inks in a Stampin' Storage combo where it holds the ink pads, the markers, and the re-inkers right behind my camera. Love it, love it, love it. And if I ever get set up on a system where I can use multiple cameras so that you can see me and then see my projects all, and I get my office clean to work with. And this is what I'm talking about on the die. It has this, it gives this detail. Can you see that? Hope you can see that. Oh no, it looks a little blurry on my, there you go. Okay, let's set that aside. Now to assemble the card. As I have mentioned before, my go-to adhesive now is the multi-purpose glue, although I did on my order that I put in last night, order the new Stamp and Seal, which replaces the snail adhesive that retired with this last year's annual catalog. So we'll see how that goes. That might change if I like that better. I just like being able to move my paper pieces light on light, but I really don't put a whole lot of small thin line. See? And I'm going to put this on the black. And I'm going to move this around until it's where I want it to be. Try to get it. Okay. And because I'm using dimensionals on the items on top of the card, I'm going to put the matte piece on with it, glue as well. Too many dimensionals makes Mr. Postman not like my cards. Speaking of, when I mail my cards, I buy the non-metered stamps. They're the ones that have the butterflies on them. Those, that is supposed to mean to the post office, do not run these through the cancel machine. They're supposed to be hand canceled. That way they won't run them through the machine to have the stamps canceled. They won't clog up through the machine. They're not supposed to, that way you pay more. I think they're like 78 cents per stamp. To me, my handmade cards are worth the extra postage. I would rather they get them in pristine condition than to have received them after they've been through the cancellation machine in a plastic envelope that says sorry for the condition of this mail. You know, if you've probably gotten something like that where the post office has shredded your mail and it comes in a little plastic envelope and you can't even recognize it, that it used to be a piece of mail. So if you don't buy the, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I actually have some in my drawer. Hold on. These are the stamps I'm talking about. They say underneath them, non-machinable merchant or non-machinable surcharge. So you can buy them by the sheet, or you can buy them individually. I buy them through the mail and pay like $1.50 or extra to have them mailed to my house, or you can just go buy them at the post office. I don't have face-to-face contact with people, so for me this was worth buying them. Right now they're the California dog face stamp. Last year they were some other butterfly, but they're always butterfly stamps. And just one stamp per card should be sufficient. And that's for anything that has dimensionals, anything that has rhinestones, anything that has a ribbon. If it's just a plain flat card, where everything is stamped flat, no layers, no dimensionals, anything like that, then you should be fine. Okay, what was I doing? I was getting some dimensionals. Dimensionals are great. They come 3 sheets to a card. I mean, to a package. I think, what is it? You get 300 of these things for like, I think it's like $8. Bargain. Okay. To me, the bottom of the flower are the little curly things. And I put mine, a little bit hangs off the card and I cut it off. And I use a lot of dimensionals when I put something on my card with dimensionals. I think I've mentioned that before. Okay. And I'm just going to lay this here. Probably should have done this before I put it on the card front, but why do things the easy way? There you go. And last but not least, put my greeting on the front, or sentiment. Greetings go on the inside. Dogs got them bark collars. I guess my husband didn't put them back on when he let them out front, or let them go out potty. They're not the cruel kind. They only beep, and then once they've barked a couple of times, ignoring the beep, then they vibrate. They don't shock. And for one dog, it works really well, but not the dog that actually has the barking problem. She will bark, 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 and then will look down wondering why her collar is vibrating. All right, I'm done. It's could be a sympathy card. It could be anything else. To me, what grabbed me is that it has just a little bit of color. It was really quite simple. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you have any questions on any products that I used during this demonstration, be happy to answer any questions you have. If you want information on how you can become a demonstrator, whether you want just the discount that comes with being a demonstrator, that's why I joined many years ago. It's been, it'll be, gosh, 11 years in July. It's 20% straight off your first order after you get your starter kit. Hit me up, send me an email, give me a call. There's a link on my website. Again, it's $99 starter kit. You get $125 of products for your $99. You get a business starter kit as part of your $99. And you get an extra bundle for free for your $99. It's a great time to join. Brand new catalog's out. And believe it or not, starting July, this is a short catalog year this year. Starting July next month, they're starting the pre-order for the fall mini catalog. So I don't know that I'm going to start promoting it in July because I'm just now getting into the annual catalog, but that's starting up next month. So if you want to get a head start and see what's coming up in the holiday catalog or the fall catalog, whatever you want to call it, join to become a demonstrator. I'll send out information soon. My blog is lindatolsondesigns.com. You can get there from my Facebook page. You can get there by just dropping me a comment here. I'll send you the link. again, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this Facebook Live. I will add this as a second video to my YouTube channel, Linda Tolson, on YouTube. I've enjoyed sharing this project with you today, and thank you for joining me. Take care. Bye.